All right. Good morning. Well, it's morning here. Whenever you watch this, good day. I am so excited. I got, excuse me, I'm always coughing on videos. I am excited to share some labs that I got back last Wednesday. But first, because I said I would try to influence your belief a little bit and give some information, like my little tips. I just have a couple things that I'd like to go over. So, number one is I didn't really explain what I've mainly been dealing with. So, my condition, my autoimmune condition is Hashimoto's thyroiditis. I've been diagnosed for over 2.5 years. Um, so, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, it sounds like a big word, but basically, it's your own body attacking your thyroid, which is placed in your neck. And your thyroid is basically the master of your metabolism, and it impacts every area of your body. If it's not working, you're going to feel it all over the place. So there's a lot of different symptoms. Yeah, so it's just your body making a mistake, and then it's basically attacking your thyroid and trying to kill it like it's a bad bacteria or virus or invader. Um, so one thing I want to say is that a lot of people think that Hashimoto's thyroiditis is a rare condition, but that may not be true. So the National Institute of Health would say, if you Google it, 1 to 2% of the population have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and yet experts on the field that have been studying it a lot, including Dr. Isabella Wentz, I listened to an interview by her, and she said that if tested, 24% of women would be positive for thyroid antibodies. That's a huge difference between 2% of the population maybe to 24% of women. So that's not even including men. That's 1 in 4 women that could be struggling. So I'm going to go through symptoms. If you're struggling with any of these, or you know someone that is, then you might have it. So one thing I've heard that I think is true, just to get us started on my little tip, is if you're not testing, you're guessing. A lot of people think their thyroid has been tested appropriately, but most doctors test for TSH, which is thyroid stimulating hormone, but they do not test. I've never seen them test without being asked for TPO, so thyroid peroxidase antibody, or TG, thyroglobulin antibody. And those would be the two tests, TPO and TG, that would show whether you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis. TSH by itself won't show it. And also the reference range for TSH is off. You can be as high as 5, 6, 7, mattering the reference range. And doctors will say that you're normal because they're just looking at the reference range. But to feel good, you need something at least a 2 TSH. So if you do have that test and you don't have thyroid antibodies, but you have that test, re-look at it and see even what that is, because that could be an indicator of non-optimal health. And then if it is something above 2, you probably want to go get tested and see if you might have those antibodies. So I got some symptoms from healthline.com, and then I also wrote some of the symptoms that I went through as well. So here's the healthline.com symptoms: feeling tired, feeling cold, hair loss, itchy dry skin, depression, anxiety, trouble concentrating or remembering things. And I would add constipation, fatigue, low stomach acid, also which causes stomach trouble, restlessness, increased allergies, sensitivities, nightmares, night terrors, and ruminating thoughts. When I say constipation, I mean, are you pooping every day? I know that's kind of an awkward subject for people, but we should be. In general, that should be the case. So when I was asked that question years ago, they would say, oh, this, I'd be like, oh, well, I think so. But You know, we don't always know what normal is when we've been abnormal for a long time. So just make sure you think about that. So if you have any of those symptoms, or you just don't feel good and doctors haven't been able to figure it out, and they're treating a lot of little things, but nothing's really solving the problem, maybe test for TPO and TG antibodies. I hope that was helpful. Now I'll get on to my lab tests. Drum roll. I'm so excited to get to this. So just so people know that I've been struggling with Hashimoto's for 2.5 years, I went ahead, we're going to put up some little graph here that shows you kind of how my antibodies have gone up and down over the years, and then what they are now. So when I tested 4 months ago, my thyroid peroxidase antibody was 286, and my thyroid globulin antibody was 1, and you could probably have seen that on the graph as well. Now, my thyroid peroxidase antibody is less than 1. I would call that 0. And my thyroid globulin antibody is 2. You don't know what that means to me. Sorry. I've been hoping through diet and supplementation and lifestyle changes and taking hot baths with Epsom salts and prayer and gratitude and everything that this would happen. And to finally have, you know, such a low number just blows my mind. And to see that just in the last basically 3 months, I changed something, and that's a result, you know, I've been trying for 2.5 years plus, because even before I got my diagnosis of Hashimoto thyroiditis, I went on a gluten-free diet and started eliminating things just because of my other problems. So anyways, I don't know what that means to you, but for me, it means that how great I feel now is real. You know, it's not just something in my head. Like, I mean, I know it's real because I've been doing CrossFit and recovering, and I've been awake more, and I don't have to take naps all the time. And a lot of my attitude's better. Like, I'm just happier. So I knew things were changing, but to see it on paper is just really, really amazing. So I hope this encourages someone. Medically speaking, you know, people, you know, the medical system doesn't really expect antibodies to go away. They usually just give you medication to try to up your thyroid hormone, or they cover autoimmune diseases with different medications. But to actually see the cause of the inflammation decrease, like, that's just amazing, and it blows my mind. And the cool part is that I don't have to be the only one, and I'm really excited for all the people in my life and people everywhere to get more and more information so that they hopefully can have the same results. So thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and I will hopefully talk to you later. Also, I will be covering all the things that I have done more in detail. I just don't want to make any of these videos terribly long. So thank you for your time.